Oh dear. Alright, just putting a bit of water on first, and then mixture lemon yellow and light red. Then I add some ultramarine blue. There we are, while it's still wet, and that all softens in to give me a nice sky. Same again in water, while it's still wet, all softens in to give me a nice lake in it. I've got place to my sim, so it's nice and quiet to do my voiceover. There, look, I'm just adding a bit of that is ultramarine blue just under them clouds, and light red just for that purplish colour what I'm putting in there. And obviously again reflect it into your water, because your water is just a reflection of your sky. I'm now wetting bottom, so what I'm going to do, painting these hills in, that's a mixture of light red and lemon yellow, and then this bit here what I'm putting in now is I've added some ultramarine blue to that, and I put that in, and again because it's still wet it all softens together. Where I'm going into the bottom for my reflections, that's why I did that little mister spray, so that'd be softer to reflect in water, you see. You don't need a mister spray, you can just put just lightly rub across it with a damp brush. It'll not move your paint, especially if you're using like that a height brush, because it's such a soft brush made with goat hair, so it don't it's not going to move your paint. I don't think it will with synthetic brush, but yeah, you just go gentle with it, innit? Gentle. That's popping some bushes in there. Same again. All I'm using is 4 colours. I've got lemon yellow, light red, ultramarine blue, and burnt umber. So in there I'm using lemon yellow, ultramarine blue with a touch of light red, so it's not a bright green. And then I'm just using more ultramarine blue and light red for them darker bits there, look, for them shadows and that, to get it darker. Just try and scratch in a couple of tree trunks there. I've just done a little bush and that. Yeah, I've got place to my sen, it's nice and quiet. I lives here with me stepdad, Arthur, my stepbrother, Doofus, and my mum, Gertie D. Doofus, he's my mum and my stepdad's gone out. Doofus, he's playing in attic. Bloke in flat above, he keeps kicking off about it. My stepdad says the bloke in flat above, he says he drinks like a fish, so I think he might be a bit of an alcoholic. There we are, look, just same colours repeated into shadows, reflections at bottom, look. Look at that, just makes the impression of reflecting water. You're just reflecting, you see. There I'm pouring in, that's a bit of earth for where my banks meet the water, and some light grasses on top, look. Niceness. Weird saying, innit? Drinks like a fish. Because I've got a goldfish called Moby, right? And I don't think he drinks that much, because I never really top his tank up. Well, his bowl. So I don't think he really drinks that much. I wonder if scientists has ever thought, right, oh, just there, look, putting my muddy banks in. I always put a darker bit there for where water meets the earth, and then it goes darker where the sand is muddy. Even doing a little bit there, looking that distance. Am I pulling a water? No, I'm pulling a water line out, sorry. So that's just a bit of damp water on a clean brush. You just touch it on to your paper, look, and it lifts a bit of paint out. So it takes you back to white paper. That gives me a bit of a water line. Yeah, what were I saying? Yeah, the saying global warming, right, is causing the sea levels to drop. Perhaps it's the fish drinking it all. So perhaps we need to get some more fishing boats out there, catch some more fish. That might cure it. If they're drinking it all, there's probably just a few too many on them. So you need to catch some. If you eat more fish and chips, it'll stop the sea levels from dropping, innit? It's obvious, innit? There, look. See, I'm just lifting my brush up a little bit. Just creating some grassy effects. Gracias. I think gracias means hello. I think it might be Spanish or something. Gracias. I'm sure it means hello. But over here it means grass. So if you're watching in Spain, don't get confused. Little bush, look. Like I say, 4 colours. That's all I'm using. So in there, a bit of lemon yellow, bit of ultramarine blue, and a bit of light red. And that gives me, by adding a bit of light red, if your greens are too sort of bright, it can end up looking a bit like a sort of cartoon. So if you want like a more of a cartoony look, do that. But if you don't, add a little bit of light red and it'll dull it a bit. Now I've gone darker, so I've added more blue, more light red to that mix, and took it darker. And this, oh, there we are, look, same again, same colours. I'm doing them just on left side because my light's coming in front right, you see. So that makes it look like my light's coming in front right. Yeah. Now, this here, I'm going even darker now. This is where my Burnt Umber comes in. So I've now added Burnt Umber into that mix and probably a bit more blue as well. And that's where I get my real darks in foreground. Now, the darker you go, the more your lights will pop out as well. And it'll throw, if you've got some real darks in your foreground, it'll throw your background backwards and give you more of that three-dimensional look and put more depth in your painting. That's what you want. You want depth in your painting. Then jobs are good, innit? Got my rigger brush there, look. Just sticking a few twigs in. See how I'm holding my rigger brush right towards the back of the brush. There's a reason why they make them brushes dead long. Or I'm just putting a little sailing boat in by washing paint out. Yeah, they make them brushes dead long so you can sit back as you're painting and you can see what you're doing more from a distance. And also, by holding your brush far back, it stops you fiddling. Fiddling, that's what you do when you're playing violin, not when you're painting. Well, I put a bit of waterline. That shows that the boat's sailing into my picture. Always have things going into your picture, not out of it. You don't want to take your eye out of the picture. Little bod there, look. A little body on my boat. There we are. Job's a good one. Sit in a digital frame. Let's see the on beach.